Hi everybody and welcome back to Northwestern Models TV, and today I'm going to show you how to build the Skytrex 00 gauge coaling stage. So let's get started. So first of all, obviously you've got the packet. It's typical Skytrex pack and just opens up nice and easily. This is one of the much simpler kits that Skytrex produces in 00 gauge. In that there is literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components to it. Now it's a resin cast kit, so you're going to see hopefully there that there's quite a bit of flash on the mouldings as it's obviously coming out of the moulds. So they will need to be tidied up, which is easy enough to do with a craft knife. You just slice it down, and as you can see there, it's just literally coming off there with very little effort, like so. And basically just a case of go around the entire moulding, and you'll soon see where they are. It's always going to be in the little corners and crevices and things, and all that is basically where the two halves of the mould join together, and it's just a little bit of seepage of the resin just coming through. As you can see, it's not taking me very long at all to do this, and just do a little bit along there. I'm not pressing down hard with the craft knife at all or anything like that, and literally just taking the flash off, and it's coming off very easily. So that piece is now, I'd say, pretty much ready to be washed and degreased, because with this being a resin cast kit, you will find that when you come to paint this later, that there may be traces of a release agent, particularly within the coal pile here. So it's always worthwhile giving any resin kit a good wash in warm soapy water with an old toothbrush. Give it a really good scrub, and it will come up, and it just gets rid of any release agent that Skytrex may well have used on it to obviously get the moulding out, or the part out of the moulding, I should say. So now onto the little stacks of sleepers. Now this particular kit is 00 gauge, as I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure, and it's ideal really for like a little industrial size layout or a branch line terminus, where you wouldn't necessarily have had a massive shed location for your steam locomotives. It would have been something nice and small and simple, where the locomotives will have been coaled up by hand. So there would have been a coal wagon to the little sub shed that it would be, or sort of coaling point, let's say, and throughout the day that coal wagon would be emptied by possibly the only member of shed staff there, and later on in the day when the locomotive comes in for a service, perhaps at the end of the day, they'd shunt the coal wagon out of the way, and then they'd coal up the engine ready for the morning service, or they might coal it up in the morning ready for the day's service while the steam pressure's coming up. So there's quite a bit of detail you could add into this as a good little scene, really, around your shed. So like I say, you could have a loco coal wagon. You could perhaps put a figure on this with a shovel, perhaps, ready to unload or load up the coal onto the locomotive or out of the wagon. That's pretty good. And as you see, it's not taking me very long at all to just clean the bits of flash off here, and you could go to town with it, do a really nice job, and You could file it or even sand some of the bits to get a neater finish, but at the end of the day this is a coal stage, so it's gonna be covered in coal dust, it's gonna be in a dirty yard, surrounded by weeds and oil cans. So it's an area that is going to be exceptionally, that can easily be very well detailed, and you're not going to necessarily need it to be absolutely pristine, because this will look absolutely stunning once it's sort of weathered, with a load of coal and some weeds around the bottom of it perhaps, and other bits and pieces in the way, and just have a really nice little setup. So I've just got to do the steps now. Like I say, this really is one of the simplest kits that Skytrex does, and it's a lovely little kit in 00. And that is now also ready, so let's just move those little bits of flash out of the way. So we've got the main structure of the coal stage. We've also got 3 supporting towers, and we've got a set of steps as well. Now, to assemble this with being resin, all we're going to use is something really simple, such as super glue. This is the Deluxe Materials Rocket Rapid Glue. So this gives us about 5 to 10 seconds for the glue to go off. So we've got a little bit of play time with it to get it all together, and it's not going to take very long at all. So first of all, as with any kit, if you can do a dry run, do a dry run. So quite simply, it just helps give you a bit of an idea of where the parts are supposed to go. And with this it is fairly obvious. Obviously the stacks go on the underside, and then you can decide where you want the steps to go at the end. So they will go on the underside like so. So let's see about sticking the first one on. Now, because it's quite a bit of surface area on the top of there, I'm going straight from the bottle with this because it's just going to be easier. And hoping that my bottle of glue hasn't dried out. There we go. So it doesn't need a lot, but just enough to stick it on there. And with these sleeper stacks, make sure that the top of the sleeper is pointing towards the top, because then that gives you the wood effect detail that's on there, rather than the really smooth underside. Now you want to try and line these up from the front edge here. You've got an underside plank. You want the front of these sleeper stacks to be in line with that, because then it's not sticking out and potentially hitting any outside cylinders for any outside cylinder locomotives, like the Hornby Peckett, for instance. Admittedly, you can always just drag the whole coaling stage backwards from the trackside just to give yourself a little bit of extra clearance, but that's something you really ought to just have a little watch out for. And that's, as you can see, that piece is now on. Now it's going to be a little bit fragile for a few minutes or so, so don't try and pull it off, because it's not going to like that. But then just work along to the next one. There we go. As you can see, it's going together very, very quickly. Now just aiming this one sort of in the middle, or near to the middle. I mean, these were never built accurately. There's basic diagrams and just assemble something to load up the coal. Hence they just used old sleepers and things like that. I mean, some later builds they might have made them out of concrete or even brick. The brick base on it. So you can do that. So you know, it doesn't have to, like I say, it doesn't have to be superbly accurate, but it just gives enough of a representation for what we're after. Right, last one of those. Come on. Right, there we go. Just line it all up nicely, and just squeeze it together so that it actually grabs all of it. Shouldn't take too long. Like I say, this glue should set within, you know, a couple. Well, it should start going off within a couple of seconds anyway. I mean, if you were to use perhaps some other glue, what you could do would be to sand the bottom of the main piece where it's quite shiny. You might be able to see it sort of shining a bit in the light there, just to give it a bit of a rough edge and a bit of a key for the glue to hold together. But that seems pretty happy like that. So we've now got our coaling stage. Now there's one last component to go on, which is of course the steps. Now with this being a kit, you get to decide which end you put the steps on, as it'll go on. It can go on either end, because with some of the pre-made ones you don't get that choice. For me, I'm going to put it on this end here, and the best way to do this is literally going to be to glue on that edge there. Make sure you got the steps the right way up, and just attach it in and just hold it in place while the stage itself is on a level surface, and it should then hold on there, and it'll all be at the same level. So let's have a go. There we go, that's the glue on, and just slide that in there. Just hold that on for a minute or so, and that is done. So there we are. That is how to build this simple, very simple little kit from Skytrex for your steam locomotive coaling stage. As I said, it's a simple kit. You can't really go wrong with it. And all this needs now is a good coat of paint. So anyway, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, because we have lots and lots of how-to videos to build up a lot of the kits that we sell. And of course, we are continually expanding the range of products that we have. So make sure you guys check back again soon. Until then, happy modelling.